First of all, thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Everybody knows how to use Teams and Zoom. And what it is becoming a real challenge to keep the audience captive. So this presentation is going to be about how to make it a little bit better and more engaging. And I'm going to explain the challenge and what's possible. I'm going to show you the basic tools that I use and provide you a quick intro into the OBS. And then I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about the sky's the limit, some of the things that others are doing in this space. And it's pretty amazing, actually, what they're doing. So everybody has talked about it. There's definitely Zoom fatigue out there. There's also the element of PowerPoint fatigue. Basically, all these engagements that we have, there's confusion as to who's talking, who's not. And then all of you see, and you can see here in the bottom right-hand side, or on the lessons learned slide, you can see the person just very small on the bottom of the screen, displaying and talking about it. So what is it? 80% of communication is done through facial expressions. And then the other side of that is it is quite difficult with Teams or Zoom. Zoom is a little bit better than Teams right now. To do co-presenters or even 4 presenters on one screen. So there is a lot of challenges with these technologies. In the past, when we talk about virtual presentations or production environments, there was basically people through technology, people and money at the problem. The world has changed, and the new reality is each one of us is a producer. And we have the tools to be a producer. And I think that's the important part of these. The customers deserve more. We spend endless hours working on this kind of stuff, and we can do better. And we can learn from others as part of that process. You can see the presentation is varied, but what you cannot see is my face as I am talking to through all of these. Now, if I'm going to transition that into hello, can you see me kind of face? Now you can see it's a little bit more engaging. It's a little bit more conversational. I can also go full screen, and you can see that I am changing things as I am going along. And then my title will appear as I am going through these. You can create these kind of things, and I can change it, and I can do presentations. If I want to make myself a little bit bigger, I will go ahead and do that. As you can see, I am changing things, so you can engage the customers as you're working through this process. So the customer deserves better, and on these, let me make myself smaller again. And this is absolutely, and you can see just by doing this picture in picture, if you will, immediately the conversation changes. I can actually show my hands. I can point at you, Daniel, because you are absolutely, great and absolutely fantastic. I can do things like that. Not that I would recommend. You can do things. You can interact. I can show you things. I can do all kinds of things as part of that conversation, which makes the customer interact with each other. So I'm not scary, whoever said that. And this is absolutely real. This started to happen on the pandemic. This guy is Glenn Wise, and he's a producer, Emmy awarding producer. And his girlfriend took this photo back in the debates, thank you. And he produced, and I mean, look at this. I'm privileged to watch Glenn from our family room plan out and bring all the technologies from 58 cameras, dozens of speakers, and hundreds of folks on the production team, manage it from that screen. If you think about this, there's basically 3 large monitors, 1 laptop, actually 2 laptops, and an iPad. And I'm going to show you my setup in a moment so you can do these. It is absolutely and totally real. We have all of a sudden become producers. So what are the basics for all of these? And this is really what it boils down to. You don't need fancy equipment anymore. Turn on your video. I mean, I'm going to ask you, please do not do another presentation with just the presentation. You are beautiful, just like your mother told you. You are camera worthy, just like Carter told you. I mean, you are you. And that is what we are. We have lost a little bit on these endless Zoom meetings with PowerPoints all over the place, making sure that we are who we are. And that's really what it boils down to, right? Use good lighting. Okay, good. Use the right background. You see my background here is not necessarily the background. I know Zoom and Teams have the blurry. You can change the backgrounds and those kinds of things. But there is more that you can do with that. There's much more. Look at the camera. Look at the camera, because looking at the camera, you're looking at the audience. So it is very important to do that. It's not about the equipment. Everything I'm going to show you, everything I'm showing you, I am using standard equipment and dual monitors. That's an important one as we're moving forward on this. So definitely, without a doubt. Now, what do I use? The tools I use are my XPS 74 2-in-1 64 Windows 10. i5 is not even an i7 or an i9, and I can do a lot of these things. Now, we started the conversation with a little bit of a challenge that I was freezing. Am I freezing anymore? No. The reason I was freezing is because I had Zoom and Teams working in the same device. So not on, and I'm going to move myself a little bit here so you can see that I can do these kind of things dynamically. I wouldn't do this not necessarily on a live presentation, but you can see that I can do things. So yeah, it bogged it down, Zoom and Teams on the same thing. I can put advertisements. Hey, it's me. It's all about workforce transformation. So you can see, again, those are the things. So the second monitor, you can use any second monitor, and you'll see my setup in a moment. But basically, in front of me, I have the laptop device. I have an old 2000, just a small TV, which I have a HDMI hookup to. And then to my right, I have 3419 curved monitor, which is, if you do not have a 34-inch TV monitor, you gotta get one. It's just unbelievable what you can do. And this monitor is just incredible, the Dell one. And that's not an advertising. I really, really suggest it. So I use a webcam, and I use my phone cameras for the rest of the stuff. And you will see it here shortly. In fact, I'm going to show you right now. You're going to laugh about this, but these are all my cameras. So you have, and I'll show you in a moment, but this is this one right here. I have that one, which is my iPhone. As you can see, I'm upside down. That's funny. Then I have this one right here, which is my other laptop, which is another laptop that I use for personal things. And I have that one over there. Really unbelievable how much you can do with these. Let me just change one thing here, the properties, and I'm going to put Daniel's camera, and let it just, and you will see. Now I created, Daniel, can you turn on, was that Daniel that I use? There it is. That's a screen that Daniel is projecting now. He's what, 4,000 miles away, 3,000 miles away, Daniel? You're in New York, right? So it's absolutely super fast, and it's totally possible. So you can have 6 speakers talking to you. You can have or you can do a lot of things with this. And again, all part of that process that we talked about a moment ago. That's funny that my camera just upside down. Okay.
All right, wait. You lost me there for a second. So what did you just do? That Daniel was sharing a screen?
So no, Daniel, this is what is happening. So everything is happening through OBS. And OBS is the software that allows you to do these scenes. So you can compose scenes with sources. So what Daniel is doing is can connect to OBS.Ninja, and you can send the link of your whatever you choose to share to somebody that controls things. So Daniel is projecting his screen. He can choose to project his webcam. He could choose to project as a laptop. It'll take a second or two. And you will see the top right-hand side. And he's sharing his OBS, that's why. But he's sharing his screen from Denmark. Again, I'm just showing you what is possible, right? Okay, so what else do I use? I use my cameras from the phones. I use the iPad and the Android, and OBS Ninja is incredible what you can do. The software that I have placed on my device is OBS Studio and open source component. I've been using OBS Studio since I was little. It was little, not I was little, but I wish I had. I set up my son for streaming services because this is well-used OBS Studio for streamers, gaming and all that. And so I've been using it for many years. But the thing is, the version, and there was so many little hacks that you were doing that you had to put out plugins and you had to do all kinds of things. But since OBS 25, there has been 25 versions of it, so much easier to manage and to work with. NDI is a technology. What you can do is you are able to broadcast via the network your video signals. So if you have a 1 gigabyte network, you can connect all your devices, anything that has essentially a camera, you can connect it, like you saw a moment ago on that process. And I'll explain about these two other ones in a moment as I show you more and more things. So again, I've been showing you a lot of things already. This is all part of that process. I am going to show you.
Hey, Jorge.
Oh, yep. Go ahead.
Is it OBS what's allowing you to insert your video into the presentation and move it around?
So OBS provides me the ability to change scenes. You compose. Right now, the video that you're looking is composed of two scenes. One is desktop, actually 3 scenes. One is the background. The other one is the presentation. And the third component is the video camera. And on this one right here is the mask component. So I just switch scenes from one to another one, and I can show you. I can do things like this, for example, starting soon, right? So what this is this is a combination of text, and this is a MP4 loop, and I just continue to loop it, right? I can change it to a world if I wanted to, right? So those are the kinds of things that you can do. This is my screen, my main screen. And what I do is if I want to go into, hey, it's me, there's the transition. This is the staging preview. And whenever I want to change it, it's there. If I want to go into the screen 4 with OBS Ninja, and that is the screen for Christian just changed or stop broadcasting. That will be, do you see what I'm doing? Does that make sense? Yes?
Basically configure like inputs and outputs, right?
Yep.
So you can say input 1 is my USB video card. Input 2 is my presentation from part.
Correct. Exactly. Now, and it's literally that easy to do. You all know that I doodle, right? I am a doodler. If you look at my YouTube channel, this is the setup, okay? So if you do want to do whiteboards, for example, and I started doing, whiteboards like this, and I started to explain people how to do it. And this is what this is just the camera, and I will show you. So I will show you more things in a moment as I go along. But again, now, what I really want to or convey to you, remember we used to say the sky is the limit?
Yep.
I mean, literally, there is no limit to what you can do at the moment. This business got virtualized. The presentation business got virtualized. It's absolutely unbelievable what you can do as part of that process. So let me switch here. One thing that I have not shown you is, okay, so this is what I have, right? This is just a regular iPad, right? It's just nothing else but an iPad. What I'm going to do with the iPad, and if I can do this, I'm going to go ahead. Remember I said I was going to explain two products. One is the NDI tool, which is basically allows me to send broadcast signals directly to OBS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my broadcasting, and I'll show you what that means in a moment. And what I am going to do is switch to my laptop screen, and you will see the laptop screen, right? So the laptop screen is now broadcasting. So not laptop, but I meant to say my iPad screen, right? So anything that I do on the iPad is, who doesn't have an iPad? Don't raise your hand. So this could be done also with an Android device. So there's everything. So remember I mentioned that I did the paper whiteboards. So what I am going to do now is I am going to, this came out of a conversation. I had a meeting last week with Kathy, in fact, in which we participated in a Lightboard meeting. I've known about Lightboards, where you go ahead and start to whiteboard essentially on a piece of a screen like that. So I figured, why not do a Lightboard virtually? And what I am going to do now is I am going to change these, and I'm going to go ahead and do a whiteboard. And the way that you do a whiteboard is I go ahead and do these, and I start just hello. Can you see that? Now, you notice that I am right now, it's hard to see because there is background. Remember I mentioned that background conversation, Zoom and Teams have the ability to do green screen. Expert with camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to remove my background. And what is going to happen here is, hello. Now I can do all kinds of things. I can go ahead and zoom in. You can see me, and I can write, right? And I can do all kinds of things. And I can have the full screen be shown as I have. It's in the same format. I just haven't spent the time to do it like he did it. I can change layers, I can do all kinds of graphics, and I can do all kinds of things. So I started doing this, and I can send this graphic to the anything. And I can show you how I can do those kinds of things as well. Again, those are the types of things that you can do with this. So I'm going to pause there for a moment and see how are you feeling. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Does this catches your attention? Is this something that you would like to learn more about and a little bit more on things? Let me see if I can show you. And I am being a terrible producer. I should be absolutely in. I created how to create a virtual Lightboard YouTube video on YouTube, so you guys can see how it is done. And I believe somewhere in here, bear with me one second. The ability to do those kinds of things. A screenshot that we did with Michael, I think it was his name, that he had. There's lots of Lightboard videos on YouTube and those kinds of things. You've seen me do this in the meetings, mm-hmm. Trying out, just changing my view of the video kind of thing, components. But I exclusively now I am working on this kind of thing and presenting like this on all my conversations. And I record them.
Yeah,
by the way,
I think this is amazing. The fact that you can kind of whiteboard, right?
Are you using the virtual camera when you present to customers, or are you sharing a screen that you're showing the preview on?
I never share screens anymore. This is the share screen. It's always virtual camera, as long as I have the scene set up, right? So you can see that is the screen that I am sharing, and I can move things up and down, and I can do all kinds of things like that, right? So it's just a screen and an OBS capture essentially. So I am only using OBS to display. I don't do share screens anymore.
So it's virtual camera that you're sharing as a. So you're only using the camera function in Teams or
Only
Zoom
the camera.
or whatever.
Yep, exactly. Okay. Okay, so this is my phone, a speakerphone, right? I mean, it's just an iPhone, right? And it can be so I'm going to transition to my phone for a moment. Now, you see the watermark right there? That is the watermark that perhaps you don't want. You can do the Epoch camera. This is using the Epoch camera software, okay? So I'm going to switch for you guys to see my setup. That's the other thing. So this is my computer, okay? That's the second monitor, and this is the third monitor. Does that make sense? And this is my keyboard. You've seen it all in there. Yes? Everybody can see it, okay? Okay. So what is happening is sometimes in the past I didn't have when I'm traveling or something like that, I don't have a second monitor that big so I use a tablet which I can actually connect as a second monitor, or I can use and there are tools to do this. This is just an Android tablet that I had laying around. I don't use it anymore. And it's absolutely, and I can use it to as a second tablet. So if I don't have that monitor or that monitor, I can just put a tablet to work on these. Now, the microphone is this. It's literally $43 or $34 in Amazon. So, which included all of that component, all of that arm. That's the camera, which I don't use for this purpose at all. It just gives me better quality if I wanted to. And this is my desk camera. This is this is using is I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is software that an NDI software that actually goes ahead and does the shooting, and then it communicates to the computer. Yeah, that's actually what I am using here, Droidcam. And then now the last piece. I'm sorry, Kathy. One more second. The last piece is that laptop. That's my personal laptop. And I use it for just testing and those kinds of things. But this is what the setup that I have. And I just put that to have another camera, and I connected it. I don't use that at all. But this is my setup. That is what I have. And of course my iPad, which can be... I try to use everything for free. So if it is not for free, or if I found a application that I really liked, I bought it.
What was interesting, Jorge, was during Ignite, there was a session about how to deliver more effective Teams meetings. But they didn't do anything outside of what's the current built-in technology. And they also got asked a bunch of questions about the whiteboarding capabilities that weren't quite there yet. You know, you're using this stuff, but how effective are you using it, right? You know, it's not just the tools, it's how you use the tool.
Exactly. And it really, and this is one good point that you make, is Teams and Zoom do not have the capabilities of doing what this does, the OBS and things like that. Now, are they going to move to a production-ready components? I know for a fact there's a company, it's a company that does major events, meaning huge, large events, and they specialize in this, and they use the Zoom backend. Think about this. There's all kinds of APIs, all kinds of production-ready equipment. They still use OBS for these kinds of things, and they are very much involved in all the major events and recordings and things like that. You will see, I'm recording these, and you will see the outcome of the recording. You can do all kinds of things with this, but natively to Teams or Zoom, for the enterprise or consumer versions, this is not available, and we need to become producers big time on these. One thing I want to talk about this, there was a question about lighting. So you saw my lighting, right? That's it. that's my lighting for these. How am I coming through? Am I coming through too dull? I am now. Yeah, I don't even have a shine on my head at the moment. But the other side of that is I am in front. My setup is lit up, sunlight associated with it. But at night, literally, this was given to me 4 years ago. This light ring, and what I do is I just simply turn it on, and that's my night lookup. That's my night setup. So it is not expensive. It is not. I will have another session for those of you interested in this conversation as to how to set up. There is literally hundreds and hundreds of videos on how to set up OBS. In my jorgep blog post, there is links to the ones that I think are the best. Everybody learns differently, right? As part of this process. So you will just have to find somebody that you like to listen to, like all kinds of different things. The explanations of people are different. You may not like my style, but there's other videos about the style. So definitely look for things as you need them. And again, sky is not the limit anymore. Anything else, guys? We're coming to the end of the session. This was not about how to necessarily as much as it was about showing you the possibilities. Does that make sense? Let me know if you want more tutorials or more things. If you, as you're going through the OBS on YouTube and those kinds of things, if you have encountered problems, just ping me. Either send me an email, text me. I am happy to help you with, not that I have allow some time for responses, because I'm not going to always be available at a heartbeat, but I can definitely help you with those elements. And literally multiple cameras, multiple computers, multiple OBS signals, lightboarding. So, I mean, the sky's the limit. Creativity is incredible out there. And some of the stuff that people are doing, we need to start doing, otherwise we are going to fall behind. And we need to allow ourselves time to learn more and more and more and more. So thank you, everybody. Cheers. I'm going to stop the recording now.
Thanks, Jorge.